Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I am Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which can be confused, can be laid, can be bewildered, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hi.
hmm
Her.
Bewitched, bewildered,
Be
belabored, beloved,
bamboozled.
bedazzled.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So today we're talking 90 Day Fiance Love in Paradise season 4 episode 9. Oh my god, this is a good and quick one. So let's just jump right into it. Luke and Madeline. So they're wearing grizzly bear fur hooded coats. It looks like a wild stinky animal.
It's on their backs. Yeah, like has
Mhm.
attacked them from the backs, and now it's they obviously bought them together. Like they obviously this isn't like they come with matchings and not anyone actually owns this thing. You know that he was somewhere and he was like, "Hey babe, it looks totally hot like these full body furs with hoods." And she was like, "Okay, look, whatever you say, but if you have the money, and then so he like buys it for both of them and just I either he makes them fucking them or maybe like it's just it can't be that cold where they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I don't think it's that cold. And two, if he's hard up for money, he can sell those to some other sucker who would buy them for full price. Like that is a sucker ass outfit. That is an outfit that you wear if you are from the East Coast, the Northeast. That's a Northeast New York,
Of
Pennsylvania, New
Russia.
Jersey outfit.
The northeast of Russia,
That's true.
you
That's
know.
true. Like it is crazy. So anyways, I'm just finding little ways that Luke can save some money or get money back into his coffers. And one of those things is selling those coats. Um
How about the
so
sunglasses line?
oh,
I don't know.
yeah, to help it out, and her business. So I forgot about her business. Like, who's been watching the business this whole time? Does she
Her
have an employee?
business.
Does she have an
Her
employee?
aunt, I don't know,
I
Paula.
guess I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
So he's sitting there pouting outside of their glamping yurt, their
He's so
clear
proud of
yurt.
that. He's so proud of going glamping. He can't. Every time he says it, he gets a little hard on. A little pee comes out.
hmm and he's like fully hood up.
Patreon gets a full visual because she's wearing a goddamn hood right
Do you
now.
understand why? Do you understand why, Madeline, that I need you to apologize for me and what you did? And she's like, I don't apologize to men. Men apologize to me.
I am as well reconsidering if this is good for me in the long run. Because he, of course, is taking this opportunity to do the one thing that he wants to do the most, which is get her to sign a prenup, And now that he got this on her, which if it was predetermined, like this would be the best bro plan ever of Brian and his, is if this was all to get her to feel either guilty enough or not good enough or scared enough, like she might lose him, or desperate enough to just allow him to, give him the prenup without any sort of like hustle about it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm,
saying?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because she's, backed into a corner because she's in the wrong because she got caught. Let's be honest, she fucked that guy in that bed.
She says she didn't.
Oh, okay, but
It was inappropriate all around. There's no reason for her to sleep in a bed with somebody clothed
absolutely.
nakeded or not nakeded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is just a flashback. I was meaning to do this for last episodes of HEA when this is how Gino constantly has like an actual frown. Like it looks like anyways. So she's playing that hard game. Like she's like, well, you can go then, basically. And he's just like, well, I'll tell you what, you're signing that prenup. You are signing that prenup, period.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, So he gets up and he goes into their yurt / glamping / clear bubble. And the next morning, they go on a boat and she is wearing Aaliyah sunglasses with no tint on them. And it's very upsetting because like, what is the point? Like what is the point of wearing fake glasses what is the point of wearing fake sunglasses glasses that aren't tinted. They're not fake glasses so that you can just look like you wear glasses, because I know people do that and that's fine. But they are sunglasses with no tint to them. And so it's very weird. She's wearing purple, which is my favorite color, so I always notice it. And he's like, well, listen, I know we fought yesterday, but I still want to go on the boat. So if you want to come, you can come. And she's fully prepared and dressed with a bathing suit on and a cover up. And so she's like, let's go. And so they go. And they get in this beautiful thing that looks like it's like a round, like it looks really comfortable. It doesn't look like a regular boat. Looks cushioned. And he says it again about the apology. And finally she does apologize, because she's like, listen, this is not where this road ends for me and him yet. I still haven't gotten all that I can get from him. I haven't squeezed him enough for everything. And also I'm not prepared to move out of the apartment that he's paying for.
That part.
So I have to play this game a little bit longer. But tell you what, audience, I'm not signing that prenup. So once I get home, I'm going to figure out my shit. And I'm going to let him pay for everything up until the moment where he tries to give me that prenup. And then I'm going to say no. If Luke is smart, what Luke will do is draft the prenup up to her before he even starts to buy and pay for anything or even wedding talk. But he won't do that.
Well, here's the other thing. We have to assume that at some point his financial luck will turn so vastly differently that he will then be able to pay for her to come over. But that's not looking good. I mean, the sunglasses thing is not sounding good. I said this before, like, Luke, you have to get back to whatever the fuck made you money before. I mean, push the numbers, honey. Get the linked resume fucking updated. Whatever engineering shit you were doing, go back to that, because it's not going to be sunglasses. You're not going to be pushing that, or in this fur coats or whatever the fuck it is. Like, and if you want to get this 19-year-old that you keep getting really upset out for being immature to come over, you're going to have to pay for it. And so she knows that too. So, I mean, as long as she has her business going, that's the best thing for her. She has an apartment, she has her business. She just has to keep those things afloat. For her, the best option would be, honestly, if him would just stay in America, keep funding her business, and let her fuck whoever the fuck she wants to fuck. Just be smarter about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That word on the street nonsense. He's like, okay, I forgive you, but I don't want to hear any more rumors. And I'm like, that's crazy. I just don't belong to any kind of like organization and or friend group where like rumors about my personal life would ever get back to anybody I'm dating. Like, it's just like a weird concept to me.
Yeah, specifically because he doesn't even live there. He only has like what feels like one friend there, or two, her, but the one friend just happens to be dating her friend. If I were her, I'd be staring daggers, not so much at Brian, but at my fucking friend, who I'd assumed be telling Brian and not be checking her boyfriend. Like, I would have just been like, I forgot her friend who barely talked the whole time because
Valerie.
she knows what's up, or Valerie, whatever. Like, if I were Madeline, I'd just be like,
I mean, even the friend was like, the truth need to be said. So she agrees with that too. It's just weird. It's weird. It's a whole weird situation that they just need to stop having a group of friends where there's no rumors floating.
That's your solution?
Mm-hmm.
To not have friends?
I mean, not a group of friends. They can have friends, just not in groups.
I thought you were going to say, don't cheat on each other, break up with each other. So that's why I said that. I was like,
no. People,
okay,
let them do what they do. You know what I mean? Right. Like, what is the spice of life if you don't have people who don't want to be monogamous in relationships with other people who do want to be monogamous being messy? What is the world?
Transition? What's a great transition? That's
a
beautiful transition.
Now we've got Alex and Adriano, and Alex is getting on my fucking nerves. She's been on my nerves, but she on my nerves a lot more. So, she puts on a dress that's too short for her. It's too short.
Oh, I loved it. But I frequently like too short things.
Yeah, you do like too short things because you think they're girly, and it's just like,
I think that sometimes they're sexy. No, she is, she is just a slinky thing. And I was like, the minute that I saw what she was wearing, I was like, oh, she's about to see Adriano, or she wants to fuck Adriano. She wants him to want her, obviously, like it just wasn't a Tiffany dress. It wasn't like we're going strolling through Italy. It's like, like it's just She's not wearing a bra. I don't think it's like spaghetti straps. God bless her though. I mean, she looks hot as hell. So then Tiffany does come over and they have a little espresso, Italian espresso in their tiled front home, the tiled front place that she's staying. It's so cute. I was like, also, what's that espresso maker? Is it Illy? Is it like, I have an espresso, but like, well, no, what is it? And then it's Tiffany's last day. And then, Tiffany's obviously known what's been happening and has been able to like stare at Alex dead in the eye and be like, what? And that's been half of Alex's battle, because it's crazy that she would pick to be with Adriano, even though she is so digmatized by him, because it's such a bad match. And he just keeps showing her how much he really could care less about who she is as a person. And
Yeah.
really, she is just a filler. And the filler is attractive enough person that I want to fuck
Yeah.
and thinks I'm hot and wants and well, like that. It's like those things hit, and then that person is just a like space by him that he refers to, because it's actually like disgusting what's happening. But anyway, before we get there, so Tiffany's like, I have to get through to you, and the best way is with Christy.
Mhm.
Now, it's interesting because she say Christy, but then Christy is her aunt. And I was like, is Christy like her mom's sister or an older cousin? Because why would you call her, why would you just not her call her Aunt Christy or Aunt Christy or Auntie Christy? Like, anyway. But this is the aunt who doesn't play and gives it to you straight, says Alex. And so we get a FaceTime between Tiffany. And I also was wondering, so this isn't Tiffany's mom.
No.
Because Tiffany's her cousin. You know what I'm saying? Go on.
Yeah, I can only imagine that it's like their there's their grandfather's last love child, or yeah, that's what I think it is. Grandfather's last love child. Now, I will say that I think that cousin Tiffany is 10 years at least older than Alex. Alex, being a therapist, is a fool, and I don't think anyone should go to her for help because she does not make good decisions. Two, calls Christy because Aunt Christy doesn't play. Like, who does play? That's what I want to know. And everyone's like, oh, she'll just tell you. She gives it to you straight. I'm like, who's giving it to you, Kirby? Like, am I the only person? Like, I guess, yeah, people do him and ha and like pussyfoot around me sometimes. And I do have to be like, so that means this? Like, get clarification, because I'm the only person who's crystal clear, or tries to be. So anyways, that person, she gets on the phone with that person and tells that person, which is the stupidest rookie move I've ever heard in my life, that Adriano mentioned wanting to add cousin Tiffany, into the threesome. Now, when I heard her say that, I was like, oh, he's joking. One. Two, if he's not joking and you haven't, and you're getting ready to go meet him, you are again a fool. Mm-hmm. And like, it's just like, it's like, in what context did that come up? Because as soon as it happened, you needed to be like, wow, that was so disgusting, and you can't walk back from that. Could you imagine, Chris, like if you were with a guy who was pressuring you to have to do a threesome, and then all of a sudden he's like, you can invite Monique.
Yeah, I did. Of course. No, I thought about that immediately when the scene happened, and I was disgusted. And I know, yeah, if someone that I had been dating truthfully, authentically to my fucking face, after meeting Monique and knowing who, like me for a couple of whatever, obviously at like whatever asked that, I would throw up in his face. No, I would just be like, fuck you. It is incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, who the hell do you think, what do you see me as? And also you are, it's like, it's funny because that's your initial feelings, but the truth of the matter is, it's just, you are disgusting. You are trash. You are not, I mean, you are maniacal. You aren't right in the head. You like have like sociopathic tendencies, that you have no empathy. You do not understand at all someone else's point of view clearly. And you would have no idea how to see or value me as a human, much less even know that I'm like one around you. Like, he just go through this life as a video game thinking that you're the only player, you're the main character? That's so crazy.
Yeah, it is just like really disgusting. The moment anybody that I were ever dating starts to talk about a friend or a family member wanting to have sex with them, or like in any kind of context, unless they were like, unless it was like, unless he was like, that's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, in what context did he say this obvious joke? to you, because the fact that you're here today about to go visit him after he said this hilarious joke, like, means that you're a fool. Like, I just, there's nothing else. So once Tiffany finds that, she's like, girl, I'm glad I'm going home. So Tiffany hops on her plane and leaves. And Alex is off to meet with Adriano. Now, he has this beautiful Amalfi Coast tour on a boat. Lots of boats in this episode planned and going on. And so they get there and she's quiet. She doesn't mention it at first. She watches him swim around in his skeevies and his like beautiful body and come up like a dark-haired Fabio. I mean, he just looks really good with his shirt off. He looks better with his shirt off than with his shirt on for me.
Oh,
the face
yeah.
is not giving it to me at all.
You're
so
right.
then she brings it up and he was like, well, I was obviously joking. And he's just like, I said it to get you more upset. And she's like, well, that didn't. And then like she starts to break down because she knows she has to break up with him. And she doesn't want to. And he's just sitting there waiting for her to. He wants her to break up with him. He's like, you're leaving. Like, let's just go ahead and break up. Like, I'll let her do it so I'm not the bad guy. But the truth is that he doesn't even live full time in Italy. Like, he wants to go to Australia. There is so much more in the way of their relationship than the threesomes.
Yeah, I mean, even religion is more important than threesomes, but God bless. Like one other interesting part, just a side note, is that Alex at one point is like, if you saw us from afar, he would think that we were just in a movie living the most perfect life, just on this yacht. And I would be like, that's not a yacht. That's not a yacht you were on.
I don't want to be in that.
That was a boat. I mean, I want to be in Italy, like for sure. And being on a boat is great. Now, I actually get a little seasick, truth be told. So I like to be like in a bay more, but but like the bigger the boat, the better. That's not a yacht. Yeah, I get seasick. I can barely be on boats. I can't be on water, like I much prefer the land looking at the water.
I don't know that I know that about myself. How many boats have I been on? Well, no, that's true. I do know. I've been on so speed boats are the same, but because it's small, it's even worse.
Like zipping through the ocean, like bloop, bloop, like that. I would think that would be horrifying.
Okay, yeah. So that's how I get to
what?
La Buga, the little town in Guatemala that I go to, is that you get on a
that would be me.
You get on a speedboat from the southern part of Belize, and it's an hour little like speedboat to the town. And so like I was like, I've never been on a lancha boat. And I guess I have. Yes, I have. And then to get to the other part of it, you take another boat. So yes, I have. Now, is it harrowing? Yes. Is it harrowing? Do I have? There's no other. It's flights. And there's no flight. So like there's no other. Okay, there's no way to get to Livingston / La Buga without a boat. There's no way. There's no landway. The
helicopter?
There's no landing pad.
Oh.
Yeah, the landing pad is in another part, and then from that part you take a boat. You still have to take a boat. There's no way to get there.
Places I went there.
Yeah. So it's that's so crazy. Yeah, it's harrowing. It's like, and these people are just there with no life jackets on. Like, this is like, just get on the bus. They just on the bus, but it's a speedboat. So I'm trying my best. You don't sit at the front. Don't sit at the front. Okay. Anyway, so he's just staring at her, waiting for her to break up with him. And she starts to cry. And she's like, it's not going to work. And he's like, what's not going to work? Why? Just smiling. And I was like, oh my God, he's really trying to get her to break up with him so he's not the bad guy. But the truth is that she should have been broke up with him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm surprised. I also wish, she absolutely should have. So, I mean, she gets to go off and out of the spell. I wonder if she has one more night. Do you think that she's not going to fuck him? Do you think she's going to fuck him one more time?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, his D is
like even after this moment, you think they're gonna go home and fuck one more time?
Yeah.
And
then he's gonna be like, "Ooh, I wish there was another woman here right now." That's what he's gonna say to her.
I think that he might on the way home be like, "Since it's your last time, since we're not in a relationship anyway, you like it." He is disgusting, but he also seemed to think that she really wanted a threesome really bad. So it makes me feel like when like yeah, he really thinks that she wants one.
He said this is how we met. He said something akin to like threesomes was a part of our beginning, or we talked or something. So there was some kind of conversation prior to that she's not admitting to being a part of. Now, it doesn't matter. Her opinion has changed now,
Yeah,
but
of course.
he can't let go of the fact that, he really
They
wants
might
this
have
thing.
They might have if they had a threesome together, maybe it was just so good that he must have just been like, "Fuck, yes, I did it. I found a lady that will be with me and also I can have threesomes with." And then she was like, "JK." Maybe she was like, "That was your first and only one. Now I've changed my mind," you know? And
Yeah, I wonder. That would be really good information if she's had a threesome with him. I mean, it
yeah,
still wouldn't change the fact that he's being gross about it because she's
for
already said she
sure.
don't want to do it,
Just
but
yeah.
it would make a little bit more sense.
I also did like the fact that, and I'm happy that she called it out, that when he was like, "No, I was just joking about that. Besides, your cousin really isn't my type." And then I thought that was gross. And then she was like, "Oh, you're gonna like insult my cousin now?" When it's
Yeah.
like, first of all, we knew why you said it because she's hot as hell and she was wearing like that like white striped piece. You absolutely would like fuck her in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
just being you knew, and because he later on admitted that he knew that he made a mistake, but unfortunately, the way he admitted it was like blaming her, like, "I made a mistake. We all make mistakes," in a very defensive way. I was like, "Fuck you," because it
Mhm.
is disgusting to like mention having, again, as we said, a threesome with a cousin. He knows that he was like gross for doing it, and so the way that he tried to back out of it was A, insulting her, and then B, like being defensive for making a mistake without her having admitted and apologized for the mistake, which is so gaslighting and weird,
Yeah.
that we like, truth be told, he is not to be trusted and he displays tendencies not to be trusted, like that are either narcissist or whatnot.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I feel like I wonder if there are a lot of relatable features of him for people that like have watched, because I feel like I've saw qualities in him, that I've like people I've like experienced before, you know
Yeah. He's not.
yeah.
Mm-mm. He's not it. All right. Speaking of not it, Kyle and Annie. To
Hmm.
me, Annie looked the best she's ever looked in this. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if the lighting, I don't know if the
Pregnant.
makeup, but she looked great. And
Did you hear what I said?
so yeah.
Okay.
So she's already like, I don't know how far away it is from the time when they had sex, but like I think it's the next day. I don't know. This is after he wouldn't go get. Oh, was it the same day when he wouldn't go get the kit?
No, it was the next day. They had sex, and then the next day he wouldn't go get the kit, but he came over. And so
Hmm.
now this is like either that day or the next day, right?
It's his last day. That's what we do know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
his last
everyone's
day.
last day.
Yeah,
This is episode
because
they
next
really
week
time.
is the yeah
Hmm.
is the season finale. So she's like, you really lost my trust, and he's like, well, that can be earned. Like he just doesn't give a fuck. There's time to earn that back. Don't worry. And so
Yeah,
Annie
yeah.
feels betrayed, and because of the fact that he wouldn't go and get the ovulation kit for her, and then he's like, "But look what I do have," and he like brings his phone over and shows him his latest STD results and STI results, and she's like, "Why are you changing the subject to your STDs? Like, I don't understand. I want you to tell me if I want you to go get a kit to see if I'm ovulating." But he's like, no, I just want you to let you know that I'm being, really responsible, about the situation. And so they start to like argue about stuff that we don't know what they're talking about, which is so annoying.
Yeah, but it alludes to the fact that she was heavily involved in his social media online. And when I had done some research, he runs Facebook groups and stuff like that. There's lots of groups for women who are looking for sperm donors. And so if she was one of them, she would have been in the groups. And he is like a power player in those groups because he's a power sperm man, and like, so he's giving them out. And so basically, two things. A, she, I guess, now is revealed that she had a relationship with someone before, an IRL in Malta relationship with what we can only assume is a man that was like giving her something, and she still picked not to be with him, and then to be with Kyle, which is in itself. She was having like a video relationship with Kyle, and then so she's like, well, Kyle, when have you last fucked women naturally to like whatever donate sperm? He like recounts 3 months ago and 1 month ago, and he's like, yeah, but there's things you weren't always honest about me about that guy that you were dating. And he's like, well, when did you last see him? And she's like, well, I saw him right before you came. And he's like, well, do you guys fuck? And she's like,
It's
and he's like,
complicated, is what she says. Then yes. What do you mean it's complicated? What are you talking about?
oh, did his penis, sorry, go in your vagina?
Yeah.
His penis in your vagina? Sorry.
That doesn't feel very complicated to me. So he's like, what did you do? And she didn't want to say. And so he's like, you cheated on me with your ex, like with that guy you said, whatever. And so they're just mad at each other. She walks away, and then he's like, I can't accept, what it is that she wants. Like I cannot give her what she wants, so it's not going to work. And then she says, this sperm donation is more important to him than love. And I was like, girl, it's not more important to him than love, because he doesn't love you. Like, or in love with you. Like, he's not in love with you, which is why he's unable to do the thing that you're asking him to do. And you're asking him to do something that is not something that he wants to, or probably will ever not want to do.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's over love. Love conquers all. It's not that situation. You guys have love for each other and whatever, but it's not enough. I don't know. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, he keeps saying, I prefer if you just accept it. In his mind, he should honestly, in his like dating profiles or whatever, come at it with like, this is what's happening, because I think that he does need to be with someone who's going to like accept it, because I do think that he has some sort of breeder fetish or some sort of like desire to fuck the world in some kind of way. He literally says, I don't think I can give it up. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. And almost the way he says it sounds like an addict for the thing he can't give up. And she is like, why can't you give this up for love? And you are right, because A, they're not in love yet, and B, because the thing he's in love with is this thing you're telling her to give up.
Yeah.
Which is like, so it's like, yeah, he's like, for me, that doesn't make sense at all. For me, it makes more sense to get someone who in fact accepts it. And we're in a polyamorous world. So in his mind, he probably doesn't think that it'd be that hard to find someone who's like, look, I'm gonna be with you the entire time, but my job or what I like to do, or the thing that you have to think that I'm a superhero for and like saving the world for, so you should be really into it because I'm such a great guy for doing it, is like go help people by fucking them.
Yeah.
Or to get babies and make more me's to this world. And that's just a byproduct that I'm totally okay with,
Yeah. Like that's exactly what it is that is required. And so it just feels like we're watching two people play tug of war, and I don't want to do that. All right.
If he finds himself his soulmate, honey, that we all should,
I mean, he's not even the worst that finds their soulmates, that we all should. So
I know.
Aaliyah and Sean. So Aaliyah's hair is looking better to me at this time. They go to dinner, which all these conversations tend to have. I want someone to have a conversation in their apartment so they can scream at each other and it be like, okay, so they go to dinner, and Aaliyah wants to set her boundaries for what she will and not accept with him. So she tells Sean that she will accept the fact that he is dating other people and seeing other people while he's back home before they're married, so they can remain open. But once she gets there, she does not want him to continue to be dating other people. But then one thing she also says with the stipulation is that you can date other people, but I would ask that you not date the person that is your friend for a long time, the one you've been having sex with, because that person will then be in our lives, and I don't want to go to California and then know that this is the person that you're fuck buddies with. That's now you're in our friend group, and I'm not interested in that. It's going to be really awkward for me. And I get it. Like, I don't want to be around anybody's exes or like fuck buddies. Just don't tell me, for sure. So he's like, I'm not comfortable doing that because I don't want to have sex with random people, which I completely understood as well. And I think it goes back to what you said last episode, is that he probably lived through the AIDS. He lived through the AIDS epidemic. And like, so I could absolutely see it. Like him being like, right now I can have a steady situation with someone that I fucking trust and it's comfortable. or I can drop, like, now I have to go out and get on Grinder and find randos to have sex with and hope. No. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. They should honestly break up. They shouldn't be together. They have. I mean, she's at the starting of a precipice of a journey of her life, and she really has to like go on that. And like
It's time for bed.
you guys, just so you know, one of us should go to bed soon. And God said that. Uh,
Sorry.
It's time for bed. Anyway, so you know what? Basically, it is time for bed. So they that's all that they have this like conversation, and then they talk about that friend, and he wants to fuck the friend. He doesn't want him to fuck the friend. She doesn't want him to fuck the friend. He wants to fuck the friend. I wonder what the friend thinks. I can't wait for the friend to be at the tell all, and we'll get the real scoop. But
All
obviously
right.
next week we'll talk about some surgery too. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. That's really this episode. But thank you so much for listening. If you haven't yet followed us on all the social medias, what have you been waiting for? It's time to follow us on social medias. At DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, at DocuSweeties1 on X/Twitter. We have a Facebook group, the DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group, and we have a YouTube. So go ahead, follow us there, subscribe, like, share all our videos, give us 5 stars, and a helpful review wherever you listen to podcasts. Also give us money.
Yes. So you can do so by joining us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get a live every first Monday of the month, plus other goodies, such as the book club that I've created on there. So if you're interested in that, please join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. All right, you guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.